So Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins is a duo that hasn't been talked about enough. And I have real reason why I'm saying this right now. So if you look at this Kansas City Chiefs team in general, right, everything is obviously coming along. The offense has looked better ever since the return of Hollywood Brown. But something that we haven't really got into, and two players that hasn't been talked about as much, is Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, Travis Kelce, he hasn't been talked about a lot because he obviously hasn't been the same Travis Kelce in the regular season that we're used to seeing. A 30-something-year-old man is not going to just keep putting up 1,000 yards. Like, come on, y'all got to be realistic. But Travis Kelce is still very, very good. And he's going to show that in the playoffs. He always shows up in the playoffs. He always lives for the moment. We know that Travis Kelce in the moment is definitely going to ball out. I mean, there's no question about that. Like, unless you're a Chiefs hater, bro, everyone knows that Travis Kelce and Mahomes is going to ball out in the playoffs. But now we're adding DeAndre Hopkins to the mix, who's a little more hungry than Kelce, right? Because I'm not saying that Travis Kelce isn't hungry, but DeAndre Hopkins is a little more hungry because obviously he's playing for his first ring of all time. So that's that's the difference between Kelce and Hopkins. That Hopkins is playing for his first ever ring. So DeAndre Hopkins is obviously going to put his all into this playoff run. I mean, he's going to put his blood, sweat, and tears into this playoff run, obviously, because you're playing for your first ring, and that's something that you want, especially at the end of your career. But the reason why I put them two as a duo and not like Kelce and Mahomes or Kelce and Worthy or Kelce and Hollywood is because these guys have the similar task when they're out there on the field. And that's obviously with the short routes, the intermediate routes where, they just get a nice little soft spot, nice little 5-yard catch, and they take it up the field for like an additional 10 yards. That's how Kelce and Hopkins is going to move. So it's going to be a lot of things that people's going to have to watch out for with this Chiefs offense where you got Worthy, Hollywood, Kelce, and Hopkins out there at the same time. There's going to be a lot of different looks that defenses just might not be able to handle. Like, those guys are going to be very, very important to the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know, because, look, you're going to have to worry about Worthy, Hollywood Brown on the deep balls, on the deep routes. You're going to have to worry about them dudes, for sure. Like, you're definitely going to have to worry about those dudes on the deep ball and the deep route. So there's no way that, you're about to just think that all of these guys are going to be on the field at the same time and you're not going to have a lot to worry about. Like, bro, you don't have to worry about Hopkins and Kelce in the short to intermediate game. But then you have to worry about Hollywood Brown and Worthy on the deep ball. Then Mahomes and Andy Reid love to get creative with, all those special plays that they do. So it's going to be a very fun playoffs. It's going to be fun. I could definitely see us coming out hot against the Houston Texans. I could see us, getting out to a big lead early. And I could see us making a statement and dominating them, especially because you're going to remember Mahomes was snubbed from the Pro Bowl. And in my opinion, he could have made the Pro Bowl for leading his team to such a good record. But, yeah, he didn't get I don't think he got any All-Pro votes. He wasn't in the Pro Bowl, so obviously Patrick Mahomes has a lot on his shoulders because obviously that's probably bothering him. He's probably mad about that, but not a lot on his shoulders to the point he's going to play bad. It's going to make him play great. And a little bit of that is probably Patrick Mahomes a little mad at himself because he probably felt like he could have just, played a little better. But when you lose your wide receiver 1 and then your wide receiver 2 basically before the season even starts, your wide receiver 2, you lose him before the season starts, and your wide receiver 1, 3 games in, it's hard to really recover from that. So for Patrick Mahomes to recover for that, for the Chiefs to be the 1 seed right now, and for the Chiefs to be healthy and ready to go out there and win a championship, they deserve it, man. They really, really deserve it. So that's why I say it's going to be very tough for this team to be stopped. Like, I don't see how this team is going to be stopped, man. Like I said, they got Hopkins on the intermediate routes. They got Kelce on the intermediate routes. Then you got to worry about Worthy and Hollywood on the deep ball. So it's gonna be an interesting playoffs, man. I can't wait to see how this goes. Houston Texans, yeah, their defense looked pretty tough against the Chargers, but they can't replicate that success against us because, first of all, playing in a dome and then playing in the Arrowhead is a whole different story. You know, when you play in a dome, it's nothing like Arrowhead when you're in the freezing cold, and obviously it's not affecting nobody on the Chiefs, but it really is going to affect Stroud and them.
Hey, want to try this?
It's going to really affect Stroud and them, man. They're going to be rattled. Stroud is going to be rattled. The Texans is going to be rattled. It's not easy going against the Chiefs in Arrowhead, especially in the playoffs. It's a very hostile environment, and the Chiefs, they have no problem playing at Arrowhead. So anybody that they're going against is definitely a disadvantage, man. Arrowhead is a tough place to play. You're in the freezing cold, and then you're already hearing a bunch of people yelling and a bunch of, like the whole crowd is yelling in your ears. And the pressure's just all against you. And Stroud, who's still a youngin', he's not gonna get it done against us, man. I'm sorry. He's gonna throw mad interceptions, just like how all these other quarterbacks are doing. Herbert, Jordan Love. Stroud's just gonna come to Arrowhead, stinking up, probably throw us 4 picks, 3 picks, and then we gonna end up dominating the Texans and winning that game easily. Then our prediction is that we go against the Baltimore Ravens, which we match up well against, but it's gonna be a pretty difficult game still because they have Derrick Henry now. But I predict that we beat the Baltimore Ravens, then we head to the Super Bowl where we'll probably beat the Lions. So that's my prediction for the whole year. But all I know is this is a scary, scary offense, man. The fact that no one has film on this offense makes everything even more scarier. Because this offense, the Chiefs offense, was injured for a big amount of the season. So nobody has film on Hollywood, Worthy, and Kelce and Hopkins all on the field together at the same time. So, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the NFL is cooked. The only way we probably lose is if somebody gets injured, which is probably just not going to happen because why would we even put that in the air? So I don't see anyone being able to beat this Chiefs team with the way this offense is going to look. And that's just the difference, man, between the Chiefs and the other teams. That's just the difference is that this Chiefs offense looks absolutely scary. And Hopkins and Kelce is going to go nuclear in the playoffs, while Worthy and Hollywood, who I already made a video on, they're going to do the same. So it's just going to be a bunch of weapons coming from everywhere. It's going to be too much to handle. And teams will lose against this Kansas City Chiefs potent offense. So if you enjoyed this video, I'm sorry. I'm sick and I'm tired. So I did this video very lazy, but I got y'all. It's your boy Chiefs Priority, and I'm out, man. Peace.